Hi and welcome to Santosha Rose. My name's Sam and the theme for today's practice is going to be stretching. I'm excited to share it with you. See you on the mat. We're going to start our practice today sitting in a comfortable cross-legged position, hands resting on top of the knees, grounding down through our sit bones, lifting up through the crown of your head. Have that sense of length in the spine. Imagine that you are being lifted up by an invisible cord, feeling that sense of lift, of length, but relaxing down through your shoulders. So no tension in the face, the jaw, the shoulders. Relaxed alertness. Allow your legs to feel heavy, sitting bones to be grounding down. We're going to take a couple of cycles of breath here. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. Allowing yourself to tap into that movement of your breath. On the next inhale, we're going to bring the arms up to the ceiling. Feeling that sense of reach, stretching through the spine, through the arms, looking in that gap between your hands. And then on the exhale, turning the hands round, bringing them, arms coming down the sides, exhaling, and hands just a touch on the mat. Inhale, bringing the arms up to the ceiling, palms facing towards each other. Keep a nice gap between those hands. And exhale, turning the palms, bringing the arms slowly down. And inhaling, lifting your gaze, arms coming up to the ceiling, feeling that stretch through your side body. And this time on the exhale, you're going to bring your left hand onto your right knee and take the right hand behind into a twist. You're going to inhale, lifting up through the crown of the head. Exhale, can you find a little bit more twist? You can use that left hand to give you a little bit of leverage on your knee. Inhale, growing through the spine. Exhaling, twisting just that little bit more. And on the next inhale, reaching the arms up, coming back to the center. And exhaling, left hand behind, right hand onto left knee. And you're going to twist to the other side. And keeping that sense again, inhaling, lifting up through the spine. Exhaling, finding that little bit more twist. Inhale, lift, and exhale, twist. And now inhaling back to the center, reaching the arms up, feeling that sense of stretch. And then turning the palms slowly, mindfully, bringing the hands back down just to rest on the mat. And take a couple of lovely circles in your shoulders, circling back, opening up through your chest, and 2, and then reversing the direction, circling forwards, and 2. Fabulous. Okay, stretching your legs out in front of you. You want to have nice straight back again, lifting up through the crown of the head. Our stretching postures today are all about finding length. straightening your legs out in front of you. You can have a little bit of a gap between your legs. If they don't go completely straight, don't worry about it. Have a little micro bend in the knees, that's fine. Just check in and see what your body wants to do today. Just resting your hands on top of your thighs. Bring your toes towards you. You can feel that real sense of engagement. See if you can spot, did your back collapse a little bit when you started doing something with your legs? Can you keep the length through the legs, through the back, whilst engaging through the legs? And keeping that sense of lift through the crown of the head, relaxation down through the shoulders. And then pointing the toes away from you and flexing them back towards you. Pointing away on the inhale and flexing on the exhale. Now one more time, pointing away. Try and watch if you've tried to speed up, and flexing towards you. And now taking some circles in those ankles. Keeping it nice and slowly. Imagine that you are drawing circles with your big toes. And taking the circles in the other direction. See if you can keep your legs completely still. It's just your ankles that are moving. Sometimes the rest of the legs want to get involved at this point. And then bring the ankles to stillness. You're going to bring the right knee in, give it a little squeeze into your body, and then interlacing behind the thigh, pointing the toes down so the toes just touching the mat. Lifting up through the crown of your head, keeping that nice flat back here, and we're going to lift that right leg up straight. And exhaling, bringing the toe back down to touch the mat, and inhaling, straightening that right leg up. Don't worry if it's not pointing to the ceiling, just wherever it goes to. Exhaling, bending that leg. And this time we're going to inhale, straightening the leg and releasing with the hands, reaching forward. And we're going to hold it here for 5, 4, you can probably feel the heat. 3, don't worry if you're shaking. 2, and 1. Slowly with control, bringing that leg down to the mat. And give those legs a little bit of a shake up and down, side to side. And we're going to even it out. So bringing in the left leg, give it a little bit of a squeeze first, and then taking the clasp behind your left thigh, pointing the toe, touching down to the mat, lifting up through the crown of the head, keeping that nice integrity in the back. And on the inhale, we're going to straighten that left leg up. And exhale, bringing it down gently to touch the mat and that toe. Inhale, straightening the leg. And exhale, bending the leg down. And then last one, inhale, straightening the leg. Going to release with the arms, reaching the hands towards the foot, and we're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, don't worry if you're shaking. 2, keep breathing. And 1, slowly bringing that leg down and give it a little bit of a shake, bending the knees up and down, side to side. Fabulous. Okay, crossing the legs over. You're going to come over the top of your legs into a tabletop position. So take a second to check your alignment here. So you want your shoulders to be stacking in a straight line over your wrists. Knees underneath your hips. A nice straight line from the crown of your head down to the tip of your tailbone. Now you're going to bring the tummy down towards the mat, lifting the head up into your cow posture, and then curling up through the spine, pushing in the hands, bringing your chin to your chest and lifting belly button towards your spine into your cat. Inhaling, bringing the tummy down, lifting the head up. And exhaling, pulling the navel in towards the spine, curling through the spine, bringing the head down towards the chest. And one more time, moving mindfully and with control, tummy down and head up. Feeling that stretch in your spine. And then exhaling, pulling the navel into the spine, head towards chest, and really curling under. And then bringing your spine back to a neutral position. You're going to reach your right arm in front of you as if you were shaking somebody's hand. So thumb pointing up, little finger pointing down, and you're going to engage through your tummy muscles, taking that left leg back and feeling that real stretch, stretching from the tips of your right finger to the tips of your left toe. Inhaling, reaching, stretching as much as you can, and then exhaling, we're going to bring knee and the elbow to touch each other underneath you. On the inhale, stretching out again, and exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, stretching, reaching, finding that length. And then exhale, elbow to knee. And we're going to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, don't worry if you're shaking, 2, and 1. Amazing. Reaching out on the inhale, stretching out, and then bringing the hands, the knee, back down onto the mat. Awesome, that's really challenging one. We're going to balance it out now. So reaching the left hand in front as if you were shaking somebody's hand, thumb pointing up to the ceiling. Engage through the tummy muscles. We're going to take the right leg back, creating that lovely straight line from the tips of the left fingers to the tips of the right toe. And inhaling, stretching away from each other, and exhaling, bending in, elbow to knee, underneath your body. Inhaling, slowly reaching out. And exhale, bringing that elbow to knee, tucking in. Inhale, reaching out. And last time we're going to bring the elbow to the knee. And we're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, you're doing great, 2, and 1. Reaching arms and legs again, feeling that stretch through the spine, and then bringing the knee and the hand back down to touch. Taking your hips back towards your feet, reaching your arms out in front of you into a child's pose. And if your head can touch the floor here, you can bring your head to the floor. You might want to create a pillow with your hands, maybe stacking fists one on top of the other so that your head's got something to rest on. And we're going to take a couple of breaths here. Noticing what your breathing feels like. Noticing how your body feels, having generated a little bit of heat. And just allowing your heart rate to settle and your body to release. And now walking your hands in towards your knees, coming up gently into kneeling position, thunderbolt position. Going to reach your arms out in front of you. Tuck your thumbs in and wrap your fingers around your thumbs. And then keeping your arms as still as possible, we're just going to take some circles in the wrists. So go a little bit slower than you want to go. And again, see if you can check that desire for the rest of the arms to get involved. Can you keep the arms still? Just circling the wrists. And then taking the circles in the other direction. And don't worry if there's cracks, it's a little bit of noise, as long as you haven't got any pain, it's all good. And now reaching the fingers back out, you're going to come back into that tabletop position and checking the alignment again, so shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And this time you're going to plant down through the right arm, lifting the left arm up to the ceiling and feeling that real sense of reach, opening up through the chest, lifting up to the ceiling, gazing up to the top of those left fingers, and then you're going to bring that left hand down and thread it in between your knees and your hand on the floor, bringing your left shoulder, the left side of your head to touch the floor. Lifting up now through the right arm, opening up on the other side, reaching, stretching, making that arm as long as you possibly can, and then tucking it behind your back. It might come to your left thighs, it might just be across the left side of your back. And taking a breath here. Before reaching that right arm up to the ceiling, bring the right arm down, planting through the right hand, push, and then bringing that left hand back up, reaching up towards the ceiling, and then bringing the left hand back down beside the right. And just noticing how your body feels here, noticing the sensations, having stretched one side more than the other. Now planting down through that left arm, you're going to reach the right arm up this time, opening up, reaching towards the ceiling. Gaze looking towards the right fingers, and we're going to thread those right fingers coming through between the hands and the knees, bringing the right shoulder, the right side of the head down to the floor, reaching up through the left arm and opening up on the other side. And taking this left hand behind your back, maybe tucking it to your thighs, tucking it in to the right hand side of your back, and taking a full cycle of breath here. Reaching that left arm up again, reaching up to the ceiling before planting it down, pushing your weight through that right arm, bringing through the left arm, bringing the right arm all the way up, reaching, opening up, and then bringing that right arm back down onto the mat. And again, we're going to come back into that child's pose, so taking your hips back and either stretching your arms out along the mat or creating that pillow for you to rest your head on. And you're going to take a couple of breaths here. And then bringing yourself slowly back up into that kneeling posture and taking both legs to one side, bringing yourself down to a seat and scoot forward on the mat so you've got a little bit of space behind you. And stretching the legs out in front of you. You're going to reach the arms up to the ceiling, lifting through the spine, stretching up, and then we're going to reach forward. Imagine you're going up and over. Reaching towards your feet, Now you might be at your knees, at your shins, your ankles, you might get all the way around your feet. Do whatever feels good for your body. But have that sense of reach, that sense of lengthening through the spine and then folding forwards. And if there's any parts that are feeling tight, you can bring a little micro bend into the knees if that's helpful. You can send your breath to any place that's tight. Sending your in-breath there, and then seeing if you can release a little bit on the out-breath. And now bringing the hands up the legs, so you're uncurling slowly and taking a nice circle backwards with the shoulders. 1 and 2, and then taking it forwards. 1 and 2. Amazing. Bringing the hands down behind you so that your fingers are facing towards your hips. You're going to bend the knees in and just hover those feet just off the floor. So pointing your toes, hovering your feet. And you might find that this feels good. You want to stay here. This is enough. If this is feeling quite easy, you can lift the legs so that they're parallel with the floor, keeping that straight back as much as possible. And if this is still feeling easy, you might want to lift your arms, hands pointing towards your feet. And we're going to breathe here. 5, 4, 3, feeling that heat, tremble, 2, and 1. Bringing the hands down and the feet down. Just taking a nice resting breath here. And on the next inhale, lifting the feet up. You can either hover them just off the floor here, lifting them up so they're parallel with the floor, or lifting up, hands towards feet. And we're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, you're doing really well, keep with it. 2 and 1, bringing the feet down, bringing the hands down, and taking just that little curl. Wrap your arms around your shins, tuck your head into your knees, and just curling around through the spine. And then uncurling, releasing the arms. You're going to bring the hands pointing towards your hips. Maybe a little bit further back this time, and taking the feet a little bit further away, hip width apart. And then we're going to push up through the hips, pushing the hips up towards the ceiling. And you're aiming for a straight line from your shoulders down to your knees, and head just facing up to the ceiling. Feeling that you're pushing down through the 4 corners of your feet, lifting up through the hips. And we're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, keep at it, you're nearly there, 2, and 1. Bringing the hips down to the floor, stretching the legs out, back along the floor, reaching the arms in front, and we're going to come down slowly using the core muscles to control, coming down towards our backs. Curl, keeping the curve in your spine, keeping your shoulders lifted, and then bringing your shoulders down, bringing your arms out in a T. So you create a T shape with your body and your arms. You're going to bend your knees so your feet are flat on the floor, and we're going to take the knees over to the right hand side. So the most important thing here is keeping your left shoulder on the floor, so only take your knees as far as they can go, and that's still the case. And then taking your gaze down your left arm. feel that sense of twist. And take a nice breath here. And then bringing your head back to center, looking up to the ceiling, engaging through your tummy muscles, lifting your legs slowly back up, knees facing to the ceiling, and then slowly taking them over to the left-hand side. And again, keeping that intention, keeping the right shoulder on the floor, and then glancing the head down the right arm. And again, feeling that sense of twist in the spine. And then bringing the head back to neutral, facing up to the ceiling, engaging through the tummy muscles, lifting the knees slowly back up to the ceiling. And then bringing the hands by the sides, palms facing up towards the ceiling, and straighten out the legs. One leg and the other leg, allowing them to be a little bit wider than your hips, toes pointing outwards. And we're going to relax here. So just letting your body settle into the mat. Feeling the support of the ground, knowing that it's got you. That security. Allowing your body to feel heavy. And notice if there's any parts of you where you're still holding tension. Maybe breathing into those parts and allowing it to release on the exhale. Going to take 2 deep inhales and sighing exhales through the mouth together. So inhaling, breathing in through the nose. And sigh, release it out. And one more time, inhaling through the nose, big deep inhale breath. And sigh it out. Bringing tiny bits of movement through your fingers and your toes, wiggling, maybe wrists and ankles. And then you're going to stretch your arms out along the mat, making yourself as long as you possibly can. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Feeling our theme for today. And then tucking the knees in, wrapping the arms around the knees and taking a little rock from side to side. And then going over onto one side and bringing yourself back up into that cross-legged position where we started our practice. Lifting up through the crown of the head, nice stretched out spine. Bringing the hands together in front of the chest. Namaste.
Thanks so much for sharing your practice with me today. If you enjoyed it, do give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know how you found it in the comments below. See you again soon.